You've probably heard of Mount Everest, but do you know exactly where it is? It's in Nepal, the home of the tallest mountain on the planet. Nepal has a unique history, shaped by a series of migrations that turned the country into a true cultural mosaic. Influences from Tibet and northern India brought in Indo-Aryan and Tibeto-Burman ethnic groups, blending to create a society rich in linguistic, ethnic, and religious diversity. At the top of Nepal's social structure are the Indo-Aryan descendants, especially the Pahari. This group includes the Chetri, the Hill Brahmins, and others who have enjoyed considerable prestige for centuries. The Hindu and Indo-Aryan influence is so significant that even the ruling families of Nepal come from this descent. In the northern and eastern regions of Nepal, Tibeto-Burman groups, including the Nepalese Tamang, Rai, Limbu, Bhutia, Sherpas, and Sunuwar, are predominant. On the other hand, the central western part is home to the Magar and Gurung communities, each with their own traditions and histories. Among the oldest inhabitants of the country are the Newar and Tharus, who settled in Nepal before the Indo-Aryan and Tibetan migrations. The Newar, especially, are concentrated in the Kathmandu Valley, and despite adopting many aspects of Hinduism and Indo-Aryan customs, continue to preserve a distinct cultural identity. But this is just an introduction to the cultural mosaic of Nepal, a country full of curiosities and fascinating facts. The flag of Nepal is unique in the global landscape because it's the only non-rectangular flag. Officially adopted in 1962 during the transition from monarchy to parliamentary republic, its distinctive shape consists of two overlapping triangles. The red base symbolizes the courage of the Nepalese people, while the blue border represents the pursuit of peace and harmony. These triangles pay tribute to the towering Himalayas, which shape the country's natural landscape. Besides hosting Mount Everest, the highest peak on Earth, Nepal is also home to 8 of the world's tallest peaks, all located along the majestic southern slopes of the Himalayan range. It's important to note that Nepal is landlocked, surrounded by India on 3 sides and by the autonomous region of Tibet, China, to the north. Nepal, nestled between the powers of India and China, gained its place in the United Nations in 1955 and has since carefully navigated its foreign policy to maintain a delicate balance with its influential neighbors. The country's geographic position is challenging because, despite being strategic, it keeps Nepal as one of the least developed countries, striving to maintain its autonomy without sacrificing development. Historically, Nepal is unique for never being colonized, which exempts it from celebrating an Independence Day. Governed by a line of hereditary prime ministers until the mid-20th century, the country was known for its isolationist policies. This changed after a palace coup in 1950 that restored power to the monarch. Nepal then established a parliamentary government in 1991, and after a decade of Maoist insurgency and turbulent negotiations, finally abolished the monarchy in 2008, adopting a republican and democratic system. Nepal, although it doesn't have exactly 1,000 temples, is rightly celebrated as the land of 1,000 temples because of the proliferation of worship sites in every district. As visitors travel from village to village, they are greeted by an abundance of temples, many of which are must-stop places for trekkers heading to Everest, adorned with bells and often occupied by monks. These sites serve not only as spaces for worship, but also as community gathering points in many districts. In southern Nepal, the city of Lumbini holds immense spiritual significance as the birthplace of Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. This place, enriched by archaeological discoveries like the Ashoka Pillar, inscribed in the 3rd century BCE, and various temples in the Kathmandu Valley, stands out in Buddhist history. Lumbini, with its complex that includes the Bodhi tree, the Mayadevi temple, and the birthplace marked by the Ashoka Pillar, was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997, continuing to attract Buddhist pilgrims from around the world. Dal bhat, a staple dish in Nepal, is a complete meal that combines rice, bhat, with lentil soup, dal, which can be yellow or black depending on the lentil used. Alternatives to rice include barley or corn, and the dish is served with a variety of sides like vegetable curry, tarkari, spicy chutney, crispy papadum, pickles, sautéed vegetables, and slices of tomato, cucumber, and onion. Dal bhat is traditionally vegetarian, but can also be made with meat or fish. On the other hand, Momo stands out as a versatile dumpling that was originally stuffed with ground meat, but now includes fillings like vegetables and cheese, reflecting the evolving culinary tastes in Nepal. Momo, originally from Tibet, was adopted by newer traders and quickly became a beloved culinary specialty in Nepal, also gaining popularity in India thanks to the Tibetan diaspora. These small dumplings, which can be steamed or fried, come in various shapes like pouches or half-moons. There are many variations, including open momos and versions filled with vegetables, potatoes, or cheese. Served with flavorful sauces, momos are perfect as both appetizers and main dishes. Historically, the Gurkhas, or Gorkhali, were initially Nepalese soldiers who faced the British East India Company in 1814. After the conflict ended with the Treaty of Sugauli in 1816, the skill and bravery of the Gurkhas impressed the British so much that they began recruiting them as mercenaries, a tradition that extended to their involvement with security forces in Singapore. The Gurkhas, along with warriors from Himalayan communities like the Kumaonis and Garhwalis, made up a contingent of about 5,000 men who stood out in the ranks of the British Army in India. They were crucial in notable conflicts like the Pindari War, the Siege of Bharatpur, and the Anglo-Sikh Wars. Their decisive participation was also seen during the Indian Rebellion of 1857, where their intervention was crucial in controlling the unrest. Later, during the two world wars, the number of Gurkhas in the British forces increased significantly, with more than 200,000 serving in World War I and approximately 250,280 in World War II, proving their unwavering bravery and loyalty in times of global conflict. During the major wars, the Gurkhas formed 40 battalions, fighting on various fronts from Syria to Italy and Southeast Asia. Throughout the conflicts, they lost 43,000 men, but their bravery was recognized with 26 Victoria Crosses. Famous for their skill with the kukri, a knife used in Nepal for both daily tasks and wedding rituals, the Gurkhas have a rich and fierce culture. There is a belief that every kukri must be stained with blood once drawn, even if it's the user's own. This fierce aspect was noted in Afghanistan in 2011 when they used the knife to confirm kills, even decapitating enemies to collect evidence for DNA tests. Nepal, with its rich cultural and historical tapestry, from the majestic Himalayas to the vibrant Kathmandu Valley, offers a unique window into ancient traditions and stunning biodiversity. Exploring everything from legendary temples to the bravery of the Gurkhas, Nepal continues to enchant and inspire visitors from all over the world. If you enjoyed diving into Nepalese culture and history, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future videos exploring more wonders of this amazing country. And don't forget to leave a comment below, sharing your experiences or curiosities about Nepal.